Life is unpredictable. No matter how much we plan, the universe has a way of throwing curveballs. One minute we're riding high on success, and the next we're facing failure or loss. The challenge many of us face is how we measure these events. We often fall into the trap of evaluating our worth based on what happens to us, our circumstances, achievements, and setbacks. But the Stoic philosophy offers us an alternative perspective. Stoicism teaches us to separate our inner peace from external events. We cannot control what happens to us, but we can control how we respond. In this video, we're going to explore how you can stop measuring your life by external events and begin measuring it by your character, actions, and ability to remain undisturbed by the world around you. One of the central teachings of Stoicism is the dichotomy of control. Its principle, made famous by Epictetus, divides life into two categories: things we can control and things we cannot. What you can control includes your actions, your thoughts, your responses, and your attitudes. You can control how you act in the face of adversity. Whether you respond with wisdom or emotion, whether you remain calm or lose your temper. What you cannot control are the external circumstances. Things like the weather, other people's actions, accidents, or even global events. The problem arises when we mistakenly try to control what's beyond us, attaching our happiness and sense of self-worth to things outside our control. For example, we may tie our self-esteem to a promotion, a social media following, or how others view us. This is a path to frustration because external events are unpredictable. By measuring your life based on them, you give up your power. Instead, Stoics recommend focusing on what you can control, your character and your responses. Imagine you face an unexpected setback, a missed opportunity, or a failure. If you measure your life by this event, you may feel like you've failed. But if you look at it through the lens of Stoicism, you see it as a chance to grow. Your reaction to failure, not the failure itself, defines you. In Stoic thought, virtue is the highest good. This means that how you live your life, the values you hold, the decisions you make, and the way you treat others matters far more than the temporary fluctuations of fortune. Virtue in Stoicism isn't about grand gestures or external recognition. It's about acting with wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, regardless of the circumstances. Take Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher. Despite ruling a vast empire, facing war, and dealing with personal loss, he remained focused on his inner virtue. In his meditations, he reminds himself time and again to act in line with reason and virtue, not to be swayed by the unpredictable forces of life. By focusing on virtue, you can stop measuring your life by the ups and downs of your circumstances. Instead, measure yourself by your ability to remain virtuous in any situation. For example, if you face a personal loss, you can ask yourself, how can I respond with wisdom and courage? What actions can I take to stay virtuous in this situation? This shift in mindset transforms how you experience life. You no longer measure your worth by external achievements or setbacks, but by your ability to live in accordance with your highest values. We all seek approval, whether it's from friends, family, or society. In fact, a significant part of our lives is spent chasing external validation, trying to impress others, seeking praise, or fearing criticism. But Stoicism teaches us that this constant need for approval is a form of self-sabotage. The Stoics believe that true happiness comes not from others' opinions, but from within. Seneca, another great Stoic philosopher, wrote, "If a man is to be free, he must first be independent of the opinions of others." When you stop measuring your life by how others perceive you, you gain freedom. Your peace of mind becomes immune to external forces. We're no longer shaken by praise or insult because you measure your worth by something much more lasting. Your inner strength and integrity. Letting go of the need for external validation doesn't mean becoming indifferent or unkind. It means acting with integrity, regardless of how others react. It's about living authentically and aligning your actions with your true values. It's not with what others expect of you. When you stop tying your worth to external approval, you begin to feel liberated. Your happiness becomes self-sustained, and not dependent on fleeting external factors. One of the Stoic practices is to remind oneself of the impermanence of life. Everything, both good and bad, is temporary. This includes your achievements, possessions, relationships, and even your problems. The philosopher Heraclitus once said, "The only constant in life is change." By internalizing this truth, you can detach yourself from the need to measure your life by what happens to you. When you realize that nothing lasts forever, the highs and lows of life become less significant. You learn to appreciate the moment, knowing that it will pass. When things go well, you enjoy the experience without clinging to it. And when things go poorly, you face them with equanimity, knowing they too will pass. This understanding allows you to live with greater freedom. You stop measuring your life by temporary circumstances and instead focus on cultivating a mindset that can thrive in any situation. Mindfulness is an essential practice in Stoicism. It's about being fully present in the moment and accepting life as it is, not as you wish it would be. This doesn't mean resigning yourself to passivity or inaction. Rather, it's about accepting reality without its unnecessary resistance. One of the Stoic exercises is to practice negative visualization. This involves imagining the loss of things you value, your job, your health, your loved ones. By doing this, you become more prepared for life's inevitable changes. And when challenges do arise, you are less likely to be disturbed. Acceptance is a powerful Stoic tool. It's not about being complacent. It's about recognizing that the world operates independently of our desires. If you can accept things as they are, not as you wish they were, you can navigate through life with far more peace. When external events happen, rather than resisting them or measuring them as signs of your failure, you accept them as part of life's flow. This acceptance reduces the emotional weight of events and helps you focus on what you can control, your response. Another key lesson from Stoicism is to focus not on the outcome, but on the process. In life, we often measure success based on the results of a finished project, a promotion, a win. But Stoics argue that the process itself is what matters. Imagine you're preparing for a big presentation. You may not know whether the outcome will be successful, but you can control how you prepare. Did you dedicate yourself to the process? Did you put in the effort, stay focused, and align your actions with your values? The Stoic perspective is that these actions are the true measure of success, not the outcome. This shift in focus helps reduce anxiety about the future and allows you to enjoy the present. You stop measuring your life by what happens at the end and start valuing the journey itself, the lessons, growth, and character building that occur along the way. Adversity is a given in life. You will face difficulties, whether in the form of loss, failure, or disappointment. But Stoicism teaches us that adversity is not something to be feared, but something to be embraced as an opportunity for growth. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This means that obstacles are not roadblocks. They're opportunities to demonstrate your resilience and inner strength. When you measure your life by how well you handle adversity, rather than by avoiding it, you build a deeper sense of self-worth. Resilience is the Stoic trait that allows you to face difficulties with calm and confidence. When things don't go as planned, instead of viewing it as a failure, see it as a chance to practice your Stoic virtues. Each setback is an opportunity to live with integrity, patience, and wisdom. In conclusion, stopping the habit of measuring your life by what happens to you is a profound shift in perspective. By adopting the Stoic mindset, you focus on what truly matters: your character, your actions, and your ability to respond with wisdom and virtue in any situation. You stop letting external events control your inner peace. Instead, you cultivate an inner strength that allows you to navigate life with calmness and resilience. Remember, life is full of uncertainties, but how you choose to face them is within your control. The Stoics remind us that true freedom comes from within. It's not about what happens to you, but how you respond that shapes your life. So, the key takeaway from Stoic philosophy is that life's external events, Things that happen to us should not define us. Instead, it's our internal responses, our virtues, and our ability to maintain peace regardless of the chaos around us that shape our true measure of success and happiness. By embracing the Stoic mindset, you'll start focusing on cultivating resilience, wisdom, and virtue, rather than attaching your worth to fleeting circumstances. As you practice this shift, you'll find that your sense of self becomes more rooted, more peaceful, and more free from the unpredictability of life. In the end, it's not the events themselves, but your reaction to them that defines the quality of your life. And with Stoicism as your guide, you'll learn to respond in a way that cultivates inner strength, no matter what life throws your way.